Whoa! Hey everybody, it's the Blacksheep here with another uh, regular classic Blacksheep style vlog, and it's been forever since I've done this, and I miss all of you, and I care about all of you, and thank you to my subscribers, and to the one or two people that give me some sort of feedback on what I'm doing. Thank you. Is the bottom line. Thank you. Uh, I wanted to hop on here because things have been changing uh, really in an enormous way in my life. And I felt like it was worth talking to you about. Because if you had... let me rephrase that. I never would have thought that what is going on with me would have ever happened for me. Um, and there are mistakes that I made along the way. All of my, they're all cautionary tales. Every single one of my stories are cautionary tales. Um, I wanted to talk about living outside, isolating yourself, and what happens when there's a disturbance in that. For you see, my friends, for those new here, I have lived in this very truck. I live here. This is my house. This is not just a vehicle. This is where I live. And I've been doing this for about a year and a half now. Well, no, more than that. Probably close to 2 years. And to get financially ahead. And it's been a tough sacrifice. It's been embarrassing. It's been hard to do. It's been certainly inconvenient. But it just doesn't look like there's any lifelines coming my way. And it's gonna be whatever I make it. So I started working on some of my debt, and I've made a lot of progress, and certainly could use a little more, but couldn't we all? So I got started on that path, and my I had a lot of really negative, and still have a lot of really negative behaviors. I was still am, chronic alcoholic. However, at that time, I was drinking absurd amounts, and it was just affecting everything that I did, from work to relationships to how I treated myself. It was just a total mess. And the truth is that I had been kind of alone and not treating myself very well for many, 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 many years prior to when I moved outside. I was living in this awful apartment with these awful landlords, and I was an island unto myself, kind of. I was in this world where I was in this world completely my own, right? You know, I would go to work, and I would go home, and you know, people would ask me what I did that weekend. What'd you do? What'd you do, man? How was your weekend? And I had nothing. I had nothing to talk about, because legitimately all I was doing was getting fucked up. That's it. Like, super fucked up, though, right? I fell further. Everything was just falling further away from me financially, um, in regards to people and how I associate with people. I was getting further and further away from any goals or satisfaction or just anything positive. I was moving further and further away from it, right? And I was on I had an idea. I had a plan for all this, right? I was gonna save up until age 40, right? That was my magic number, age 40. Everything is going to work out at age 40. I'm going to just live in my truck and I'm going to save and I'm going to be by myself and it doesn't fucking matter how nasty it is because it's just me, you know? Fuck it. Whatever. I'll be the dopest 40-year-old on the planet. That was my idea. And then I can, look for relationships or I can look for something. And sometimes things happen that weren't in the plan. You know what I mean? So here's what happened. I got super, super, super ridiculously lucky. Just dumb luck. I transferred to another location within my company, and I met somebody, and I'm 100% in love, and I have found the girl that I want to develop my life around, that I want to spend my life with, who completes me. Just dumb luck. Just dumb luck, right? Wasn't even looking. And so I guess that's the first point that I want to make is that even if you're not looking, even if you're shut down or you're isolated like I was, I spent 10 years by myself. I spent 10 years by myself, and then I spent fucking a year in a truck abusively drinking. Was a shell of the person that I am. Was completely just not uh not present, really, just not present. And I got lucky, and I found a really wonderful girl that um was willing to put the time into me, and I love her. uh so message number one is that it gets better. You if you're open to it, and if you want it, and if you've been alone for a long time, and if things aren't working out for you and you just feel like there's no right fit for you, um, if you hang in there and you're just patient, things seem to work themselves out, or at least they did for me. And I'm blessed by something or other, Mother Nature, whatever it is. But the more important thing that I want to say is that um, I was completely convinced that once I was ready, whether it was age 40, however far away it was, I was completely convinced that I could just go from the off position to the on position with socializing, with caring for somebody, with allowing somebody to care for me. When you're alone, you don't even know how to let people treat you well. You don't even understand it. It makes no sense. I literally fought somebody treating me well because I didn't know how to accept it because it had been so fucking long. And I think in the initial stages of our relationship, I very much deprived this young lady of a good experience because I was so all over the place, and she, I guess, understood me enough to get past that. But here's the message. Here's the message, homies. Anybody living outside, anybody that doesn't socialize too much, any loners, anybody that's been out of the game and away from people for a very long time. 2 years, 4 years, 10 years. Once you're getting into that year area, here's what I'm gonna say. You literally cannot effectively jump right into a relationship. You can't. It's not you just can't unless you have somebody super unique. uh what I wish I had done is I wish that I had um sought therapy, and I wish that I had visited a doctor and got checked out way before I met the girl that I'm with. It's too late to go back now, and I got lucky and things worked out. But I just don't see how um, getting yourself looked at is a bad thing. And I did. I previously in my life, I did look at taking meds and going and seeing a doctor or a therapy. Looked at it all as a very negative thing, like a cop out, like a weakness. And now I'm finding myself in a position to say that it's something that I wish I had done before I met my significant other. I got lucky, but some women might not be so patient. And I know everybody out there is ready to meet somebody. Ladies, gentlemen, everybody needs somebody sometimes. Nobody is an island unto themselves. And if you've been on the outskirts of society for a long time, it's badass, and it's you should praise yourself for being so counterculture, and you should praise yourself for being self-sufficient, and you should, you know, feel wonderful about who you are, and you shouldn't change some of the things that make you who you are. However, not seeking professional aid before I got into this relationship was a big mistake. And I think that somebody that would be similar to me could avoid a whole lot of bullshit if they just you know, explored their options. Uh and that's really all I have to say. I'm still living in the truck. It's been this is my second going to be my second winter outside. I'm not really worried about it. Um, it is inconvenient for a relationship. Again, never thought I would be in one, but uh, living in a truck is not a good idea if you want the purdy. Don't do it. um, I'm just being silly. Look, get yourself checked out. Don't be afraid to see somebody, and don't be afraid to feel good. Don't be afraid to feel good. I fought feeling good, and I fought people caring about me forever. Um, and now that this is working out, I can branch out and I can do more. But unless your head's right, you're just you can't. And that's pretty much it, man. Thank you for joining me. I just wanted to say all of that. Black Sheep signing off. Peace.